Hello guys, welcome to another short tutorial on HTML. In the previous video, we have seen how we can check a particular date which is in between two date range or not. In this video, we'll extend that one and we'll get input from the user and we'll check whether it comes under those two dates or not. We'll provide the option to the users to choose those two dates as well. And finally, we'll print the result on the web page itself instead of console log which we were using to display earlier. As I said, we'll get the information from the user. So let me add two input boxes here. I will add a title as select range and I will add a break. As we are going to provide a option to the user to select dates, I will use a type of the input date. Let me add a title for this one. And similarly, I will add another date field which will be 2 so that user can select the range from 2. As we need to capture the dates entered by the user, we need to provide IDs for these. Let me name this one as from date and similarly for another one as to date. We have two dates for selecting the range. Now we'll have another date field where user going to check the date which needs to be checked. So I will name this one as date to be checked and I will add a date input field. And as we need to capture the date entered in this field as well, I will name this one as date to check. Now we are done with adding the date fields. There should be some action when this particular function needs to be called. In the earlier video, we were checking this one on load, but in this video, I want to check this one on click of particular button so that whenever I click on that button, it should calculate the user inputs and check whether entered date is within this range or not. I will name the button as check. And for this button, add a click function on click. So on click of this one, we'll call a function check date, which we are going to define that one now. So copy this one. And the final element in HTML which I am going to add is an empty space where I want to show the result. For that one, I will use a span here. Before that one, let me add a title as result so that it will display the result. Then I will add a span. So this will be empty. And for this one, I will give a ID as result so that as soon I click on this check button, I will show the result in this span. So now we are done with HTML part. As I said, I want to perform the calculation on click of this button. So let me create this function in the JavaScript. As we have already have the functionality to check the date within a given range, I will cut that one and I will paste this in this function and I will modify this one. To get the values entered by the user here in from date and to date and the date to be checked, either you can use JavaScript or jQuery. For this example, I will be using jQuery as it is a very quick and simple in jQuery. For that one, I am going to add a jQuery CDN at the top. To use a jQuery, you need to add a CDN or you need to include a jQuery file. So I will add a jQuery CDN here. Then just what you need to do is you need to get the value from these date fields. Earlier we have defined these values manually. Now instead of that one, use jQuery method. So first define the ID here, then dot value. So this will fetch the data from date ID and it will add the date into this D1 variable. Similarly, you can do for D2, that is to date. Copy the ID of the second date input field and paste it here. Similarly for D3 as well. Did the D3 logic here instead of to date, copy date to check and paste it here. So now whatever the date will be entered by the user within the from date, that will be captured in D1. Similarly, whatever the date entered within to date, that will be captured in D2, and date to be checked will be captured in D3. And the final part which we are going to in JavaScript is to display the result in this ID. For that one, copy the ID of the result span and within the conditions which we wrote earlier, add the jQuery code, bring the ID here using the jQuery syntax, then add the data to that span, use the function HTML and within the double quotation add the text whatever you wish to add. So I will add the same text we're using to add in the console. Similarly, for else part type, I will change this one as date is not within the range. So now we are done with HTML and JavaScript coding. So here we have defined two input fields. One is from date and second one is to date. From date and to date, dates will be captured and it will be validated. And the third one is date to fetch. The date will be captured from date to fetch and it will be validated against these two dates. Whenever we click on check button by calling this method, it will perform the calculation here and it will show the result in the result ID. Let's save this file and open this one in browser. So here we have three date fields. First one is home. I will select month starting and month ending. From mine two are set now. The date to be checked. So I will select the date as 25th. So as soon as I click on check, you can observe date is within the range defined. That will be shown here. Similarly, if I select any date which is in previous month and I click on check, you can see date is not within the range. This is just one simple example of how we can use this functionality of checking a particular date within a range. We can extend this one as per our requirement and we can use in our web application or website. Thanks guys for watching this video. If you like this video, please click on like button, share it to others and subscribe to my channel.